right. Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm your host today, Richie T, also known as Richard T. And we're going to be streaming Vanafar pod again in preparation for SCG Philli. So let's hop over to MTGO so we can look at the deck, so I can discuss the changes, plus the reason why I'm debating on playing this deck for SCG Philli. So recently I've switched over to the Red Splash. I tried it at FNM and it felt really good. So I'm going to continue playing the deck with the Red Splash, as I think it doesn't do enough damage to you in the mana base, but being able to hardcast cards like Kiki Jiki, and also getting to play Zealous Conscripts, which is honestly just a much better card than the Sky Hussar, which I was playing in the Bant version, as well as getting access to a few more powerful sideboard cards. So in order to do that, we had to, well, we didn't have to, but I feel like it makes our mana base better if we switch over to Wooded Foothills as a Steam Vents in the mana base instead of a Hallowed Fountain. Actually feels a lot better. I would rarely fetch for the Hallowed Fountain, as I'd just rather have green mana. But with the Steam Vents and the Red Splash being a little stronger, especially when it comes to sideboard, I find myself fetching this up somewhat frequently. So the Foothills are a lot better than the Windsweeps for that reason. As well as that, we have the Steam Vents, which was just discussed, and 3 Stomping Grounds to still have our Forest for the Script Ranger, which I'll go over the combo again for any of you guys that haven't seen before. Other than that, the mana base is pretty straightforward from what I've been playing. We have our same amount of mana dorks and the 4 birds, 2 noble, 2 walls. I've had a couple mana issues, but I've also had a couple floods. So I really think 8 mana dorks is probably the correct number. For utility-wise that aren't part of combos, the 1 of Scavenging Ooze, the 2 Path, the 2 Voices because they're great with Eldritch Evolution, the 1 of Vendilion Click, which has been absurd to me, and I really think Vendilion Click is maybe not a necessary, but I don't think I would play this deck without it, for the fact that there are many times I've untapped with Primespeaker. I've had a way to untap Vanafar, so I use one of my pods to get the click to make sure that the coast is clear. And it's felt very good for me. The Deputy of Detention, which used to be a 3rd path, but is now a deputy for getting cards like Ensnaring Bridge out of prison, as well as a Kitchen Finks and Night of Autumn for versatility. So now we're going to move on to the combos. The first combo I'm going to explain actually doesn't include Vanafar at all, and it's just an old Kiki Chord trick, which is Chord for Eternal Witness, get back Chord. Use Chord to Chord for Resto to blink the Eternal Witness to get back Chord, and then Chord for Kiki to make infinite Restos. People forget about this plan a lot, and I've seen not a lot of people go for it, even though it has very little downside to Chording for the Eternal Witness because it's just a free creature, even if you decide to not go for the combo line. The other combos, though, do involve Vanafar, outside of just like hard casting a Kiki Jiki with one of your untappers in play. So the first chain, which is the chain I've had for a while, hey Josiah, what's going on, is you can pod any 1-drop into a Scrib Ranger, return a forest to untap Vanafar, then pod Scrib Ranger into a Renegade Rallier, use its trigger to get back Scrib Ranger. Use Scrib Ranger's ability again to untap Vanafar. Then you pod Scrib Ranger into a Bounding Krasis. There it is. Then you use your Bounding Krasis to untap your Vanafar again. You then pod your Renegade Rallier into either a Breaching Hippocamp or a Resto Angel. If you do Breaching Hippocamp, you just untap Vanafar that way. If you use Resto, you blink the Bounding Krasis to untap the Vanafar. And then you pod either Hippocamp or Resto into Kiki and make infinite Krasis. The other line in the deck actually doesn't use the graveyard at all, which I think is pretty important right now. And that's, you can go from, it also gives you access to being able to combo off with any creature no matter what CMC. We will go from a Birds of Paradise just to explain. So you go from a Birds into a Scrib Ranger to untap Vanafar. If you're at a 2-drop, though, you get to skip the Scrib Ranger step. You then pod the Scrib Ranger into Bounding Crisis to untap Vanafar. You then pod Bounding Crisis. If I had my headset, I'd say yeah. I'm at Josh's right now, unfortunately. But I will try to keep an eye out on chat if you want to, like, discuss and help out. I'd be super appreciative of that. So the Crisis becomes Hippocamp, which then untaps Vanafar. You then turn your Hippocamp into a Zealous Conscripts to untap your Vanafar. You then turn the Zealous Conscripts into a Woodland Bellower, which gets another Bounding Crisis to untap your Vanafar again. You then pod the Bounding Crisis into a Resto Angel to blink the Woodland Bellower, to then get your last Bounding Crisis, to untap your Vanafar, to then pod your Resto into a Kiki. So it's very complicated, but it actually works out pretty smoothly, and it also just gives you a good value card in Woodland Bellower. At F&M, I actually had a game where I cast a Woodland Bellower on turn 3, and was able to win the game just through attacks. So the Eternal Witness, I explained, it's just a good value card, plus it gives us another small combo. And then we have Chords and Evolutions as our tutors. Moving on to the sideboard, this is where playing red has really changed a lot of the cards. So we have our typical packages of Rips and Remorseful Clerics, and the Damping Spheres and Eidolons. I've actually been debating on if Rest in Peace is the correct. Thank you so much for subbing, Josiah. We all super appreciate that. All of us here at Mom's Basement Games would like to say welcome to the basement. So, I've been debating on playing either Relic or Surgicals in my sideboard instead of the Rips, because, as we seen last week, it is kind of awkward as it shuts off the Scrib Ranger line. But I really just want the hardest hitter against Dredge, and I believe that is Rest in Peace. Spheres are just very versatile, and the Eidolon is great against anything trying to cast multiple spells. As you'll notice, I did step aside from Stony Silence. After having a talk with a couple friends, I don't think the card is that well positioned in the meta right now. If you looked on my lists that I've been posting trying to hype the deck up throughout the week, I went down to 1, but playing Wednesday, I really wanted one more threat to board into my main deck when I sideboard against like mid-ranger control, because I wanted to go down to 1 Kiki Jiki a lot as it dies easily, but I just didn't really have anything to replace it with, so I found myself leaving the second Kiki in. So in the place of those Stonies, we do still have the Kataki as it's a good tutor target against artifact decks. We have a Kasali Pride Mage, which is really good against the artifact decks that Stony is, but it also gets around this small card that sometimes see play called Damping Matrix. My friend Steve actually used it against Jeff Hoogland, and ever since then, when he was playing Kiki Court at that time, he always had a Kasali in his sideboard, and I just think it's a smart, small hedge. We also have an Is It Staticaster now that we're playing red. This card is absurd against a lot of small creature decks. Really does the spot of like Linvala almost, as well as we have Kieran Nalaar to help gum up the board and do some removal. On top of that, we have our typical Thragtusk, Glenalendra, Shalai, and Tireless Tracker for when we're trying to grind people out, as well as I recently added the Revlark to the sideboard. I haven't gotten to test this yet, but this is what I'm talking about, where I wanted the extra like good creature threat in the sideboard, and I feel like Revlark's the best, as it can get back Vanafar, Kiki Jiki. A lot of our value cards in our main deck we can actually get back off the Revlark. So with that, we're about to hop into the games, but beforehand, I want to hop over to Mom's Basement Games TCG store, the one-stop shop you guys should all hit up if you're looking to buy anything. Anything from basic lands, even to Terramanders. Mom's Basement Games has it all. You can also check out a lot of our social medias through here. You'll have access to our Twitch, our Facebook, our Twitter, as well as YouTube videos from content from Legacy to Modern to Standard. Just about anything you're looking for, you can find on the TCG Player Pro store from Mom's Basement Games. On top of that, though, I would also appreciate it if you gave me a follow on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @RichardTMTG. Come talk to me about Magic or anything else. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Recently, I got tagged in the post for top 5 favorite cards. There's my list. If you ever have any questions, feel free to message me about it. I'd love to talk about it, as well as my 3 friends that I tagged in it. So, without further ado, though, let's hop into some games. What do you guys say? I'm ready to cord for some kikis. We are in a competitive Modern League, as always. We're going to get this started. So if you have any questions about my list right now, feel free to ask me, or just any questions in general. I'm glad to answer them. I know my list is a little different than a lot of people's Vanafar lists, but it's what I've been testing and what's felt pretty smooth for me. I know Josiah, who's in chat right now, has really been trying to talk me into playing a Goblin Crater Maker. Exactly. See, just look in chat right now. He's trying to talk. I don't know. I don't know about Goblin Crater Banker, man. I like being able to hit enchantments with Kasali. I was really thinking about playing a Huntmaster instead of the Revlark, though. Huntmaster sounds sweet. Alright. Wonder if we can make our hand bigger. There we go. That's better. This hand's great. We're definitely going to keep. Potential turn 3 kill with some good value cards if we need it. Ooh. Remember when I cut those Stony Silences from my sideboard? Here we go. Okay, so this means it's hard. It's a Hardened Scales Affinity deck. We have a pretty good hand against them because their only removal is really Ballista. And Ballista will have a hard time killing this Primespeaker. So we're going to start by fetching a Forest and playing this Noble on 1. This will be a good test, though, to see if I do need Stony Silence for this matchup. Not that I'm expecting a lot of artifact decks this weekend, but it's just always nice to be prepared, in my opinion, for them. If I can fit Graveyard Hate and Artifact Hate, I typically try to. What you got here, opponent? Bound Ravager. Sure. Oh, they're going to play another Mox Opal here. Yep. What is it now? Hanger back for 1. Alright, they're down to 1 card in hand, so the coast is getting pretty clear for us. So I think here I'm going to go ahead and play a Wall of Root. And then since we have plenty of mana, I'm actually just going to go ahead and play this Voice. So we might actually be dead now that I'm thinking about it. We don't really have anything we can do, but we might just die to this Ink Moth. Oh, we're just going to... We don't have anything. Actually, we're not. So 2, they pump 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're actually dead if they see the line here. Hopefully not having Stony Silence doesn't kick me in the butt here, but I definitely think they're going to get this game. They already have this game for sure, as long as they don't mess up. This is the scary thing about Affinity. Sometimes they can just kill you. Imagine if we would have had a path here, though. Yep. Darn. Rough game 1. But I think our sideboard is pretty good for this matchup. I'll go ahead and grow this main deck a little bit. So, I like the combos. I think Revlark's a little too slow. I'm I think Shalai's a little too slow. P and K because it makes multiple blockers. Kitchen Fink seems iffy in this matchup. Tireless Tracker and Click don't seem needed. Eidolon doesn't seem great. Damping Spheres aren't that good. Voices also aren't that great. Kasali seems good. Scooz is meh. Rip's actually really good because it shuts off Ravager and... Ravager and Hangerback Walker. Sorry, I drew a blank there. Alright, so we got 3 more cuts to make. I think the Thragtusk might be a little ambitious. And then 2 more cuts. Glenelendra seems slow. Then we can probably... Renegade Rallier is nice because it can get back Kasali. We probably don't need 2 Kikis in this matchup. What do you guys think about this sideboard? What do you think, Josiah? How do you feel about this? I think it looks pretty good. It leans our deck down a lot. Puts a lot of good cards in this matchup in. What do you think we take out for Shalai then? I can see Shalai being good because it gives our things hexproof. I don't like trimming a mana dork because I want to be able to like play my 3 drops on turn 2. I could buy a Rallier. But Rallier can get back Kataki, actually. I think we're going to try this. Oh. We're so close. I hate having a hand with Kataki in it against Affinity, but there's no way we can keep this. Wow. I only have 2 non-green sources in the deck, and we've drawn 1 or both of them in both our 7 and 6. I think we have to mulligan again. Yeah. We just can't go to 4. They kept 7, which is super scary. Especially when we mulligan that much. So yeah, this like this Dismember? Sure. Alright, that's pretty good. I think we're gonna get Temple Garden here. Go Wall of Roots and then Noble. So yeah, this is kind of the reason why I'm not sure about cutting Stony. Like, I get the artifact decks aren't super popular right now, but it feels really bad to just, like, lose so hard to them. So, play this, and I think we're going to poke for 1. Because of Exalted, the Hangerback can't really block it. Yep, that's the Ravager again. Alright, what do we get here? Probably a Stomping Ground? Yeah. I like second Stomping Ground here. We did board out Click, right? Yeah. Thought so. Ooh. I mean, that's a good way to maybe be able to win this game. Hopefully they don't have another removal spell and we can just win. Like, this is a mold of 5, so... I mold to 5 a couple times at Wednesday Modern, too. Which is odd. I don't think this deck is too inconsistent. So yeah, the decks I'm between for Philly this weekend are either this or just Phoenix. And while I think Phoenix is probably the best deck, I also think there's going to be a lot of hate for Phoenix to where I don't think many people are going to expect a deck like this. Bad thing is if there's a decent amount of Gravedigger cages out. Do you have an answer to Vanafar, opponent? If not... Alright, so we might have been able to steal this game. Rip is a good backup draw. So... we're going to do the Graveyard combo, because then they're more likely to bring in Graveyard Hate and also not expect the rips. So we're going to flip a green. Untap and bounce. Pot her away. Rally her back to Scrib Ranger. And alright, that's game 2. So, our opponent was able to get game 1 off their cheeky kill. We got game 2 off our cheeky kill. Yeah, I mean, who needs Stony Silence when you just kill your opponent, I guess? I'm trying to decide if I want to run it back or not. I really like Rallier in this matchup. We have a lot of good things to get back. Are you on 2 Kikis in your list, by the way, Josiah? Because I'm really trying to decide if I even need 2 Kiki Jikis. Because in a lot of matchups, I find myself boarding it out. What do you think? Do you think the 2 is needed, or do you think going down to 1 would be fine? I'd probably cut it for a Revlark and then put a Huntmaster in the sideboard. I think we're just going to run it back, though. Okay, you think 2's needed unless you go full value? I could see that. 1 felt fine in the Bant version I played, but... I think this hand's going to just be too slow. How do we seriously have, in 3 hands, one of our 2 non-green sources? We are just the unluckiest. You think I keep this in Scry? We need a red source for the Staticaster. We need a green source for the Noble and a red source for the Staticaster, though. Like, we need a fetch land to get a Stomping Ground for this hand to, like, actually do a lot of things. So do you think because of that it might be too greedy? Yeah, I think I'm going to mulligan as bad as it feels. Oh. I hit keep on accident. Huh. Well, I guess my misclick made our decision. Okay, they have a tap land this turn, though, so... Come on. We did it, fam! Easy! Hashtag professional. Means the mulligan accidentally draws the one card he wanted. Would you like to graft opponent? Just saying it's an option. I didn't actually know that was an option. I thought it was only creatures you control. No! Oh no! This game's not easy! This game's very hard, actually. Ree! Alright, this game is still kind of hard, but a little less hard. So we got punished, but then we got, like, halfway rewarded again. We are time walking ourselves against the affinity deck, which is scary. Don't be a Ravager, bro. That's fine. That's not fine. I said not to have a Ravager. That's very rude. So... that's... 1, 2, 3. That's a 4/4. So if I make them kill my Vanafar, they have to go all in on it. Okay. No, they don't because they have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a 5/5 then. But then they have to get rid of their... I think I definitely make them have an action. Make them make an action, I should say. Sure. Are they just going to go on this now? Yeah. Oh, they're going all in on the Ravager. Deal. Hopefully they don't have another Ballista in hand. Yeah, I'll take 5. Okay. I gotta do math here. 1, 2, that's actually 6, 7, 8. We live at 3. Okay, we live at more than 3 now. We live at 4. Yeah, no, I think we just go get... Oh, wait. I am so glad I put that Kasali in my 75. Let's go. Easy magic, easy life. Who needs Stony Silence? You told me to keep. Everything was great. We didn't need Stony. We just wrecked him anyways. You know, man? You just kill him with Vanafar, and then you get him with your haters. I don't know if we actually had any business winning that game, but I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to take the 1-0 and queue right back on up. That was good. That was a good time. I think our opponent super misplayed though, so like it's fair that they lost. I don't know why they went all in on the Ravager as opposed to the Ballista. All right, we lost the die roll and we're against Pepe team. Oof. I like the path, but I don't like anything else about this hand, so I'm gonna mull. I mean, we can combo with this hand. What's your thoughts on this hand, Josiah? I think I like it more than going. Yeah, I like it more than going to 5. We're gonna bottom that. My first inkling is Phoenix. That's not bad. That's a reason to save our fetches, actually. Play that fetch, play that on 3, get back Misty. Could be Storm, but most likely Phoenix with the way Modern is. I mean, we have a really slow hand, which is scary. Against turn 2 Pyromancer's Ascension. But he has no spells right now, so... I also don't know if this is Storm or Phoenix yet. Like, it could be either or. I assume it's Phoenix, because that's the hotness. Okay. Those are 2 different cantrips. Okay. That would have been great any turn besides for now. Well, it's fine, actually. So we fetch a forest here. We rally back our fetch land. We fetch again. We don't have any pressure, so I'm actually going to shock. And just play this noble. Then pass it back. The reason why I shocked is I wanted the red mana for Zealous Conscripts. Okay, so it's Phoenix. I had a really fun play. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't do it now, but... we could eventually take his thing in the ice and just Eldritch Evolution it. Or we could take his Pyromancer's Ascension and Eldritch Evolution with it. I think we're just playing a Primespeaker this turn. We're going to get him for 4. There's no reason to shock this, right? No. Typically, I wouldn't use the Noble, but I'm really expecting to just have to pick this back up anyways. I should have probably left the Temple Garden open to fake path. Yep. So the Ascension's online, which is scary. Yeah. We're in a lot of trouble. If, you know, actually, I was probably supposed to go get Knight of Autumn and blow up the Pyromancer the more I'm thinking about it. I think that might have been the correct play. We're going to get 10'd here so far. All right, we're getting 13'd. Yeah. I think not answering the Ascension was a mistake. I don't know if it's what lost us this game, but we also could have gone. Actually, we should have gone and got a Deputy of Detention on one of them. So that was kind of sloppy by me. I didn't think about that. So we'll try again in game 2, though. Revlark does not seem good. Kiki dies easy. Glenn is slow. Same with P and K. Thragtusk is a maybe, but I think it's too slow. We can typically trim a Rallier in this matchup. Maybe. Maybe not. Kitchen Finks is great. Isn't that great? Staticaster's not that great. I don't really like Deputy in this matchup because they have so many Lightning Bolt effects. Tireless Tracker seems slow. Kataki is not great. I'm not a big fan of Graveyard Hate, but typically in this matchup, I like Scoos because it's like versatile Graveyard Hate. But the Graveyard Hate's probably better than this Artifact Hate, actually. And I don't think Voice is good here. Maybe something like this. I think this is pretty close to how I normally board in this matchup. What do you think about this? You don't like Damping Sphere? I think Damping Sphere is probably one of the best cards in this matchup. Or do you mean you don't like it in the deck? It's been really good for me. I like it because we don't typically cast more than one spell ourselves, while it's also a hoser against like Phoenix, Storm, Tron, Amulet Titan. I don't know. If they can't, they run a really low mana count. And if we can tax them off 3 spells a turn, I think it's worth it. I've won because of Damping Sphere in this matchup before. Oops. I'm gonna flop over here really quick. I think we're supposed to keep this. What do you think? Do you think we keep this, Josiah? Yeah. Just lead on Temple Garden tapped. Are we just Eldritch Evolutioning into Primespeaker on 3? Discard Phoenix Island. Ooh. That's not a bad draw. If they don't get back this Arclight Phoenix, that might actually be the play next turn. I think I like that even more than getting Vanafar. If they get the Phoenix back here, though, I think I'm just going to go for Vanafar. That's pretty good. So I think we're just going to do both of those instead. Sorry. I won't be surprised with him seeing Rip if Ascension comes forward now. Off this. 2 lands. I think I just want Evolution here. Do the Scavenging Ooze because the Wall of Roots is mana plus better with Chord of Calling if we need it. I should have attacked first. That was a small mistake. Lightning Axe, discarding Gut Shot. Sure. That's the reason I kept the Wall of Roots. So if we tick this down for the bird, that's 1, 2, 3, 1. That's actually Van at his end step now. Backline Drake. You dead, Jim. Oh, yeah. Forgot this card's dumb on Moto. It's also bugged, so if I wanted to cast it with it at 1 counter, I could. Even though that does work in paper. Chord for 4, grab me a Van. I'm going to float a red just in case something goes awry. But we should be in the driver's seat now. Grab the Scrib Ranger. Oh. Gonna float a green. Pot away the Scrib Ranger. Grab a Bound Crisis. Crisis my Vanafar. Hippo the Vanafar. And this is where I was talking about that it's nice to have a combo that doesn't use the graveyard. I really wish my deck would just like stay wide. glad we are getting to see the second combo come in handy, though. So as you see, with this, we could have comboed with Vanafar from just about any. All right. We take down game 2 with the help of Rest in Peace and our secondary combo, so. So do we change anything now that we're expecting them to take out Ascensions? That is the question. I think expecting them to board out Ascension, I really like where we are with our 75, or with our 60. How do you feel about it, Josiah? Or anyone else in chat for that matter? I think the deck felt really good that game. The Rip was really good as opposed... Rip is better than Surgical if you're thinking they're going to be on the Ascension versions instead of Terramanders or Pyromancers. I think I'm just going to run it back. 75 felt, or the 60 felt pretty good. I really appreciate my opponent not making us play through the combo. Yeah, Sand seems great. We got Ramp for our Vanafar. We got Path for anything in the ice. Zealous is kind of man the hand, but that happens when you put those in that deck. I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Wolf? Just having fun playing some Vanafar pod. I don't know if you've been here the whole time, but I was telling everyone about how I am most likely... Okay, so we're really not playing the second... We're really not going for the second combo. But, I was telling them about how I'm pretty likely to play this weekend in Philly. It's between this or Phoenix. I'd personally play Terramander over the Ascensions, though. I think Ascension's really good, but Terramander fits along with the attacking plan of the deck. And I also think it can be less clunky. Do they have the removal spell? Yep. It's not a big deal, actually. We have our bird still, and really hoping to rip a land either next turn or the turn after that. I'm debating if we fetch here. I think I kind of just want to fetch and... just use my mana efficiently. Okay. Not a land, but pretty close, and it's pretty hard for them to kill a Wall of Roots. It's only like Lightning Axe, and then 2 for winning themselves after that. A lot of lists are only on like 1 Lightning Axe anymore anyways. I think 2 axes probably is the correct number. I think that card's very good. Could be a Phoenix turn. Yeah, so the reason to Path there, in my opinion, is if Okay. Yep, Lightning Axe discarding the Phoenix. If I would have drawn a land there, I would have wanted to play Vanafar. But I don't think I could have let them untap with Thing in the Ice. That's brutal. I mean, they do board into like a control deck, so. This isn't looking good right now. So they left Ascension in. Graveyard Hate. That's interesting. Okay. That is a land, so. Means we can play more Magic. Yep. Yep. Starting to get scary. So Ascension is like it's not even probably. It's just definitely the more powerful card over Terramander. But I think it's easily hated, and you don't, unlike Pyromancer's Ascension, I think it's fine to leave in Terramander through Graveyard Hate. I think Ascension's really bad once you see Graveyard Hate. I'm actually surprised they left it in. So, unless we get Graveyard Hate here, they're for sure turning on this Ascension. One, two, three, 1, 2. They only get a lot of looks at a Lightning Bolt or another Phoenix. Yeah, you think the Chord for Cleric's the right line? We go to 5 that way, but then they don't really have much going on. Actually, with that line, we go to 3, which means we're dead to a Lightning Bolt. But are we beating a Bolt anyways? Probably not. Yeah. Alright. Grab Cleric. Alright, opponent, don't kill me. Evolution for Shalai is a really good line. I don't think I can get greedy. I really want to attack first, but I can't take the chance of him having a removal spell. Alright. Here's the hoping we stabilized. We've used 1 Krasis, so we still have loops. Come on, not a Phoenix and another spell. Well, they could have just cast a Phoenix unless they drew it off the opt. They brought Blood Moon in? Ah, GG's. Close game. Yeah, that matchup's pretty tough, I think. I'm 3-2 in the matchup right now. But I'm not sure if I'm actually supposed to be favored. It seems very hard, especially because their deck has so much removal, and they're a gut shot deck. But we can eventually run their removal out if they don't have a threat, or if we can answer the threat. That's the reason I really like being able to answer their threats. I really wish I had room for a third path and this deputy in the main. But I think the list is pretty tight right now. Adding in the Woodland Bellower loop really takes away like the couple slots that are nice to have. Also playing red mana because we fit the second Kiki in. But if we weren't red, the second Kiki would just be a Jace, so I guess that's actually not true. Yeah. I think we played that matchup well, though. We're on the draw again. I think this hand's fine. It stinks to have the Kiki in my hand because it's basically a mulligan. But we actually can have 2 red sources if we'd like. And we just have a lot of versatility in this hand. Grixis Death Shadow. Yep. Okay, so they've seen that we drew a path. I'm going to go Foothills Pass. Because of this path, I think I'm just probably getting a Temple Garden. Keeps us away from casting this Kiki Jiki, but I don't think that should be our main plan anyways. Ooh, did they keep a one-lander? They did. That's actually kind of scary, because that means they probably have a lot of, like, removal and stubborn denials. This turn was one of the few times I would have actually liked to have had a Hallowed Fountain in my deck. I just don't think it's reasonable to have that many non-green sources. I almost don't like the 2, but I think they've come up a lot more. I could be talked into it being correct to have the Hallowed Fountain over the Steam Vents, but I really want 4 red sources. Okay. Interesting to me, they didn't cite this. Probably a Fatal Push or a Gurmag. Okay, I'm actually more fine with it being a Gurmag. Huh. Do you think we path this Gurmag here? We unfortunately can't cast this Deputy, but I'm not really sure if I want to give them the second land. What do you think, Josiah? Do you think we like birds path and then pass? Or do you think we just don't path it because we don't want them to have a second land? Okay. I'm down for that. It feels bad if he has a stubborn denial, but I get what... Well, he can't kill our bird and stubborn, so yeah. I think this is a fine play. Take 5. Ooh. That's good, because that lets us deputy and path. Actually. I think I'm going to fetch right away. I want to conserve my life total. So I think I'm actually just going to get an island. The only removal spell that kills this right now anyways is... Oh no, push does kill it. So we probably let this happen and then we have to path it, I think. Oh wait, what? Why didn't it give me the chance to respond again? Is it because I didn't have a stop at my end step? I thought that was only for, like, if something doesn't happen. I didn't know that was just, like, in general. It's gonna feel really bad if he has a stubborn denial now. He's really trying to decide if it's better to have this Gurmag or stubborn denial this. He decides to stub. Yeah, I mean, I think we just have to take 5, unfortunately. So whatever we block, we can block with whatever, and then we can just blink it with the resto here. Then we can attempt a chord for a Kiki next turn. If he hits a land drop, I have to really consider what I do. But yeah, I feel pretty safe here. I'm going to block with the Wall of Roots. It's better with the chord, but the bird just gives us the chance to cast a Kiki Jiki. Oh, I should have paid for one of this with... I didn't think about it. This is a Thoughtseize, probably. Wonder what they're thinking about so hard. Maybe they're trying to decide if it's worth it to Thought Scour for a land. To try to hit like a bolt. or try to be able to cast like their bolt. Looks like what they're doing. Milled Thoughtseize push and didn't draw anything. So they're dead. They're super dead. I think we're gonna just cast it just in case they do have something. All right. So our opponent stumbled a bit there, and we got the win because of it, but that's kind of one of the risks with Grixis Death Shadow is you do run a really low land count. All right. So they're a matchup where I'm not a big fan of a second Kiki Jiki. I like all of our value cards. Eidolon doesn't seem that good. Deputy doesn't seem that good. Staticaster's not that good. Knight of Autumn isn't that good. Damping Spheres aren't that good. Kasali's not that good. Voice is debatable. I don't actually like Graveyard Hate that much. I do like Scavenging Ooze, though. Then we got 3 more cuts. They're a stubborn deck, so I'm not a big fan of Eldritch Evolution. Then normally I like trimming a Noble against the removal heavy discard spell decks. What do you think about this, Josiah? How does this plan look to you? Just kind of be like a pretty big value deck. Okay. Yeah, let's run it. I think boarding like this makes the removal pretty against us too. Yeah, this hand's really good. Keep. They mulled to 6. Let's see if they mulligan again. They kept. So now they're probably thinking about their scry. Yep. Is this a Thoughtseize here? Okay, I didn't expect Pithing Needle. So we don't have an answer to that in our main deck now. Alright, looks like we're on the value plan to win this game. Turn 1 Pithing Needle from Grixis Death Shadow. Why are they playing Pithing Needle right now anyways? It doesn't seem that good in the meta. If we go to a game 3, do we bring in Artifact Hate for the Pithing Needle, Josiah? Or do you think we just, like, try to go value plan? Okay, I can buy bringing in Deputy. But you don't think we bring in Kasali or the other one? Right on time when our opponent has... this can enter tapped. Okay. Then we're gonna put a. I mean, next turn we're just casting Shalai. So. I like our chances. Could be a Death Shadow here. Gurmag. A Gur Daddy. So we have Path to answer that. What can we cord for? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We can only cord for 3. So I don't think we're cording. I think I like just sticking Shalai here. We can click them when we're worried about dying to TBR. Yeah, Zealous would be real sweet here. We're up to cord for 4 right now. If we click them next turn. It's another Gurmag. Oh, I think they went to Thoughtseize and realized I had Shalai. That's 9 right there. They're not dead if we Zealous, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're 1 off. 2, 3, 1, 2. Yeah. I think we're just going to pass. EOT. You can always click them when they go to attack. So if we click 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, we have cord for 2. Hmm. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think we're supposed to just click here and make sure we're not dead. I think we were actually supposed to let them attack first. Click them. Stub. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna block like this, go to 2. It makes them fetch shock if they want to keep their shadow, and then it means they're dead if they don't take our cord. Which they can't because we have Shalai. So if we draw a land here, we can win. Yeah. Alright. Land. Ugh. That's pretty good, though. Well, it's fine. It's actually not. Huh. Really wish we had the Deputy in our deck right now. We could cord for Scoos, but there's not enough to eat. We could Vanafar. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Cord, tap, block, block. I think our out is drawing Zealous. Yeah, I think that's our only out. Oof. Hope you're okay, Fizz. 1, 2, 3. 4, and we're gonna want to block with a Shalai the least. I want to block with the Noble also. I was just seeing if anything else potentially gave us a chance. Yeah, we just need a land next turn. I will try my best to distract you, my friend. I am here for you. Alright. Well, we can't draw a land and a Zealous, actually. So I think we are just dead. Womp womp. Alright, there's a game 3, though. I didn't expect the Pithing Needle. It's not bad. Heard doubling your money is pretty good. So I think we want this Deputy now that we've seen the Pithing Needle. What do we take out, though? A Voice? I was thinking a Renegade Rallier, actually. What do you think about trimming a Rallier? I think Rallier is probably worse than Voice. Since they have a good amount of spot removal. I can buy that. So you think we run it like this, then? Okay. What do you think, Cool? How does this look to you? Okay. We'll try it then. I really didn't expect the Pithing Needle. I don't think anybody would have. What do you think about this? I really don't like discarding against the discard deck. Or mulliganing against the discard deck. Yeah. So that'd be 4, 5, 6, cord for 3. We can do the Ewit chain. I think I'm gonna. This hand is much better. I will scry that land to the bottom. Yeah. That was kind of my problem with the hand, is like, our 3... Ooh, Thoughtseize is really good. I feel like they probably take the Wall of Roots here to try to slow us down. Unless they have an Inquisition. But then again, they don't get another turn. So they probably just take the Wall of Roots. But maybe they might have trouble actually just beating this Shalai. So they might have to just take it. And just hope we don't combo. Nope, chooses the Wall of Roots. The pause tells me I might be right about that Shalai, though. We might have issues beating the Shalai. Motobug. Just play this tapped and pass. Thought Scour's good. Milled over a Bolt, which is sweet. Less removal, the better. Chord's not bad. Just play the Steam Vents, tapped and pass. I mean, I somewhat enjoy MTGO. I enjoy that it lets me play Eternal formats. Okay, they're fetching here. This tells me they have to have a discard spell. Maybe they have a Bolt then. And their plan's just... I think we're still supposed to just jam Shalai here. Make them use their removal on it. And then play Primespeaker. Yep. Show me the Bolt. That's not a Bolt. It's a big boy, though. That's not a Bolt either. Oh, it's a Fatal Push. Sure. I think I would have rather just bolted if I were them, though. No, we don't have any other plays, so just play Vanafar and hope. We're down to 3 cards. Yeah, I just think it was wrong to push there, though. I think they should have just bolted. Yeah, this matchup seems really tough. For kind of the same reasons I Another push, okay. For kind of the same reasons, I think Phoenix is a bad matchup. I think this is probably a bad matchup. Or at least a tough one. This line seems really weird, but it seems correct. Oh, I don't kill their Death Shadow anymore. Oh, this was a mistake. I thought I killed the Shadow because I was at 19 yesterday. Or I was at 19 last turn. Crap. 6, 7, 8. I mean, I guess now we just have to hope. Fuck. Shit, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that's what I thought my play was. Let's see. We can't attack them because then we die to Shadow. That was such a bad misplay. Sorry about that, guys. I just got like way into my own head there. Like I made the idea of the play and I didn't reevaluate everything. Might cost us this game, unfortunately. Swing Shadow at them and have held Zealous back. It would have been at 5. I mean, we're not dead. Here's hoping they don't have a stub. Yeah. I misplayed super hard because I didn't think about what my new life total was. If I would have just waited a turn on that, I could have just killed them. Alright, we're 2-1 though. I need to go use the restroom, so I'm going to put the deck up and go use that really quick, and I will be back. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I am back, though. Alright. Let's see if we can't rally the next two together to get a good 3-2. Get our money back. Yeah, I think... I don't know if the Zealous play would have won us the game, but we definitely would have been in a better spot. I think I'm going to mull this hand. This hand doesn't do anything until 4. Sure. That's fine. I do want another land, but I don't know if I want it right now. I think I want a bottom. Looks like another Phoenix deck, probably. Okay. That would have been really nice to have kept the other land for. But then we wouldn't have drawn that because we're going to fetch for this voice. Yep, Phoenix. Milled 2 lands. Up. I'm going to get a here. It's not that I didn't want the breeding pool. I did. It's just I also need action. I actually think I'm going to just pass and play the Scrib Ranger here. Because then I can get back my fetch land. Oops. Yeah, definitely looking like Phoenix. 100% Phoenix with that play. Alright. I'm going to flash on the Scrib Ranger and hope he... Please? Okay. So I'd love to get greedy here. And try to attack with the Scrib Ranger. But I really just can't afford him bolting or killing it. So unfortunately, we have to just play it as is. Then I think we're just going to fetch a forest to conserve life total and play this bird. And give it the old Passeroonie. I really think if you like this deck, Josiah, you should probably play this deck. I do think this deck's good. Otherwise, it's modern, man. There's a lot of options. I think Phoenix is like for sure the best deck in the format. It's like Phoenix or Dredge. So if you want to play Yeah, this thing's flipping for sure. Blue White's definitely the best control deck in the meta right now. I personally prefer Jeskai because I prefer being able to close games. But if I were to play a control deck, I honestly just think Phoenix is like the place to be if you're going to be in a deck. It has a lot of removal and a lot of answers in it, while also just like being able to cheese a lot of games. Like we're probably getting hit for 10 here. Make that 13. I swear, if they have another Phoenix. Alright. I mean, we're still dead, but like, we're not actually dead yet. Alright. So this blocks thing. And we just don't have 2 flyers any way we look at it, so we're dead. Faithless Looting is just such an absurd card. Yeah, it's really hard for me to say not play Phoenix. Because I think it is, like, as much as it pains me to say, it's obviously just the best deck. And, like, I love the deck. But I really enjoy Vanafar Pod. And I think this deck is very strong. But who's your team? Is it you, Donovan, and who's the other player? I do think Donovan should just play Legacy, though. I teamed with him on my team, and he's just an insanely good Legacy player. I especially think with the new Jake on Standard, that's a good team. I do think you're probably the best one in the... You're probably the best to be in the Modern seat. I don't think it'd be good to not, like... It's a mistake if you're going somewhere with Donovan and not have him play Legacy. Because he is that good, honestly. What do you think the last cut here is? I think it was Revlark last time, but Revlark might actually be fine. For me, it's going to be Ian Bear on Standard, Gavin Kokenauer in Modern, and then me in Legacy. Larker Rallier. I think it's probably the Lark, as much as I don't want it to be. It seems like it should be so good in this matchup, but it's probably just too slow. I mean, I can't mulligan a hand with 3 mana dorks in it. Alright. Let's just lead on... Come on. Thank you. And here's the birdie. And there goes the birdie. Yeah, if you want my opinion, probably play Blue White's a fine choice. I think Phoenix would probably be the best choice for you. Especially because I think Donovan can help you out a lot with that. So I know he's been playing a lot of that deck. Or I think Jeskai Control is fine. But I just personally like being able to close games out in my control deck. It's not bad. Chord for Ewit. Set up the Ewit Resto Kiki. Well, that was unexpected. We faced a lot of interesting tech cards today. Chord for 3. Eternal Witness and get back our chord. I know because of the Wall of Roots dying, we can't Resto next turn, but it's just like a free body doing this. Out of curiosity, why don't your teammates want you playing this deck? I can see why they think that. It's definitely not true, though. The deck's very resilient because it's just a good mid-range deck. And I think a lot of people overlook that. Yeah. Probably wrong to not just shock there. I think we're going to hold up the chord because we can chord for Eidolon of Rhetoric. Okay. Now they're just dead if they don't have another land. Cool. Nobody expects the old Kiki chord line, I guess. Hopefully our opponents don't make us play out the combo. But we shall see. Board for 5. Grab the old meatball. Cool. Thank you, opponent. All right. So do we change anything up? Oh, we cut the deputy of detention, actually. For the Revlar. Oh, we didn't bring in the Eidolon. I must have clicked that instead of the deputy. That would have been really awkward if we wanted to go for that line. Okay. I think this is how we sideboard. You'd like a deputy more than a rallier. My problem is the fact that deputy dies the, like, I know it's silly, but deputy dies the bolt, and they play a lot of removal in their deck. Like, I think we're supposed to pressure it, though, but the only good thing it hits is Thing in the Ice. I think being able to buy back a Damping Sphere, a Rip, a Remorseful Cleric, a Scavenging Ooze might be a little bit better. I could be wrong on that. You want to try this. I could also buy maybe trimming a Noble because of Gut Shot. I think that might actually be right. What do you think of this hand, Josiah? I was really thinking about a 1 of Reflector Mage, but I just like Deputy more, I think. Yeah. I think it's a mole, unfortunately. Like, this hand looks so much better, and we get a scry. I'm gonna bottom that. I want a blue land so I can cast this Vendilion Click. Really good cards in this matchup. Oh, I smell the bolt, bud. You're not fooling me. I'm gonna play into it, but I can smell the bolt. Bolter, a hard cast Gut Shot incoming. Basic Mountain Pass with no removal for 1? That was interesting. We're gonna shotgun a Scoos here. I wonder why they just didn't kill our birds on our turn then. Seems like a questionable choice from our... I mean, that lets us cast Shalai on 4. We still can't cast any of our other cards yet. And this was like the issue I thought of with red mana, was that we'd be a little clunky. But this is my first time having this happen. So in the banned version, the 4 red sources are just an extra fetch, an extra island, a hollowed fountain. Oh, I need white mana. An extra island, an extra fetch land, an extra hollowed fountain, and then an extra forest. Not sure if that's correct or not, though. Again, this is my first time having mana issues. Yep. Their hand must just be like all removal. Really need a blue source. That's technically a blue source. Okay. Interesting that they put that lightning axe on top and then thoughts. Typically, you bottom everything trying to find a phoenix if you're thought scouring. Alright, well, here comes the cord for 1. Cord for a mana dork play. And we got to untap. Alright. Primespeaker? Okay. Wait. No, the Thought Scour didn't mill Lightning Axe. What did the Thoughts... Oh, they Thought Scoured me. And I milled 2 lands. Wow, that's actually really unfortunate. Okay. Okay. We can't attempt to combo. So why am I fetching here? Do we have a good 4-drop to go into even? We don't even have a good 4-drop to go into. That's funny. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna go into Resto, because then we can go into Kiki and cast the Breaching Hippocamp. So that's the line. Man, if only Resto was any creature, I could blink the bird and get it back. Okay. Sure. Okay. So we have to just hope they don't have a bolt. And we're actually gonna... They didn't have it! I mean, we did pressure their removal really good. Alright. We're playing for our money back, boys. I didn't think we were going to win that one, I'll be honest. I thought for sure they'd have a removal spell for Kiki, but I guess not. Alright, Funky Monkey. What do you think of this hand if you're in chat, Josiah? I think it's probably a mole. Yeah. I think this hand is definitely a mole. Do I go to 4? Or do we just risk it? I think we might risk it. What would you do here, Josiah? Would you keep or mold a 4? This makes it feel really bad mulling that 7, but... yeah. This feels bad to keep, but I don't think we can go to 4. Okay. If they're an aggro deck, I'm willing to die. Oh no! Oh no, I regret that top so bad. We're dead. We're so dead. Oh. It's Goryo's. Oh no, fam. Rally your back of fetch land. We might have a problem. It's called We Might Be Dead. What? What? Are you kidding? They were a Blood Moon deck? Does anybody know what my opponent's playing? Sure, dude. My bad. I guess I'm an idiot for not playing the fetch land. Would anyone in chat have played the fetch land there? Like, I want to know if I'm dumb or not. Like, I don't think I... Red Black Prison? I guess? Like, I'm right for thinking Goryo's there, right? Like, Goryo's is for sure the more popular deck. You done got me, opponent. If I don't draw a forest, I'm probably conceding. I did not draw a forest, therefore I will concede. Well, that happened, I guess. So I guess they're not Goryo's. I don't even know what's sideboard. Because I don't know what's going on. I'm going to take out what I think isn't good. What do you guys think of this? Against Red Black Prison, I guess. Really regret not having those 2 extra basics. I almost played an extra forest over the Horizon Canopy, but I felt like I wanted one more white source. Do you think I want any of the cards that I boarded out, or do you think this looks good? I'm really not sure how to board against this deck. I actually don't think I've seen this deck in Modern before. All right, we're gonna try it, I guess. I'd like to be on the play. Think I keep this. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We're fetching a forest. I don't care if our hand's not that playable. We're fetching a forest. We'll draw lands. Trust me. I believe. I believe in not losing to Blood Moon, though. Opponent mold the 5. Can't fool me this time, opponent. I know you're not on that Grish brand. Here's the bird. The bird, which is the word. That's not a land drop. This kind of is, though. Oh. I'm assuming they're a Chalice deck. Please don't have Brutality. This smells like Brutality. Discarding Slaughter Games. Alright. I can pick up what you're putting down. Really wanted that Birds of Paradise, though, opponent. That was pretty rude. That's pretty good, though. So here. Kind of want to just play this tapped. Play the Scrib Ranger. Shocked and I have to shrink my Wall of Roots. Three, 4. Not quite there yet. Get in there, little Scrib Ranger. Is this like a bolt now? Nope, just putting it into play tapped. Probably like an ensnaring bridge or something. Yep. So that doesn't help us cast this. But it does help us cast this next turn. So... we're going to start with an attack. Just poke him for 1. And I think we're going to shock... I don't know how much removal they have for 1/3. And I can just get this and the Kasali back with Revlark. Evoke is 6. Let's start with attacking for 2. I actually don't think I'm going to play something. I really need this Revlark to die right away when I do decide to cast it. Alright, that means next turn we can either Woodland Bellower or Revlark. I mean, like, the amateur beats are working here. Alright, we're going to fetch here. I don't know what we're going to get, though. What are we getting with the Bellower? Probably just like Finks. I'm actually going to fetch Island here because we can bounce Forest to make mana. Plus we have our Wall of Roots to make mana. Cast ourselves a big boy. We could get Eternal... Actually, yeah, I like that. I don't actually care about this Blood Moon. Oh, I do care about the Blood Moon, actually. It shut me off white. Ugh, that was a mistake again. A mistake in a match that I can't afford. Yeah, that was really, really bad on my end. That might have lost me this game. Wow, that was really dumb of me. Okay. I gotta figure out how to win from here. I think it involves stealing an ensnaring bridge with Zealots. That was so fucking bad. Holy crap, I'm sorry, guys. I should have gotten, like, something to blow up the Blood Moon. You gotta really not casting road spells. He's hellbent. So I just need any way to make another green mana or another 3 power creature that I can cast. I need one of those two things. That's pretty good. Mom and Pop Thopter Shop. So now, if we take the bridge here. So we take bridge. He blocks, takes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 only. It's not quite enough. If we throw a Thopter at the Spirit Guide, he'll take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is enough. Okay. So I need him to brick again. Throw a Thopter at the Spirit Guide. And then kill him. If we throw a Thopter at 7... We steal this. He blocks. He takes 2, 3. So, yeah. Let me make sure that my math is right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me yoink that ensnaring bridge really quick. Alright, so I misplayed, but I was able to fight through it and force a game 3. Okay. We want to change anything for game 3. What do you guys think? Do we change anything or do we run it back? I could almost see wanting another Kasali somewhere in the 75. Or another Knight of Autumn. Maybe a Crater Maker. Revlark does seem good, though. If anyone's there and wants to throw and put in, do you think I'd change anything for sideboarding? We're just going to try running this back. I think it's pretty good. Alright, game 3 for if we win our fun bucks back. Here's to hoping. I assume they're a Chalice of the Void deck. I cannot mulligan this hand because it has double fetch land and mana dorks. This hand is very good against Blood Moon. This hand got even better against Blood Moon. I think we're going to lead on the Noble. Because it's the one I'd rather have die. Yep. They whiff on the spell, but they get our dork. Which is fine. I would have maybe clicked them. But I don't even think I would have. That's good. Third basic. Pass it. I was thinking about playing a Magus of the Moon in the sideboard. I would have had to have made these Windsweeps, which is the only way we can fetch our basic planes. But then the Steam Vents gets a lot worse. Because you can't fetch it off all your fetches. Lily of the Veil. Yeah. Card makes me sad. I'm cool with the plus, though. I think I'm just going to bend the Temple Garden. They've been a Spirit Guide. I'm going to play this. And I think on the opponent's draw step, we're going to click them. We're going to hold on to the Foothills even though it can't fetch anything. Just because I really don't want to shock. Hazaret Collective Brutality. Even though they're going to get to clear our board, I think it's correct to just take the Hazaret. Take their only threat. That was insane for them. I guess I got to discard this Bellower as bad. I haven't played Commander in a while. I play it if someone can let me borrow a deck, but I don't personally have any decks anymore. I just typically get a little, not that I take it competitively, it's just I build more competitive decks when I play Commander. And it tends to get unfun. Sorry about that. Just messaging the person I'm going with this weekend. So we're going to need a really good draw, but I think we're supposed to flash in there here. That's almost a good draw. Really wish I would have kept that land now. So I'm going to attack the Lily. Because if they Edict... Fine. If they plus, we have to discard this Revlark, which sucks. Yep. Really hoping for a land. That's really unfortunate. It's not the worst because we can just discard it, but we're like under the gun of them drawing a Blood Moon and never being able to cast. Spicy. I don't know if we're supposed to Deputy here when they discarded the Bedevil. I actually think I'm supposed to pass. As much as I want to play it because I think it would be nice to have something in play. I think them discarding that tells me they have a removal spell. And I need to play this Revlark. That's our chance to get back into this game. I really think this Revlark is like our only chance. Yes. All right. So you're saying there's a chance. All right. Now, if they ever get rid of this, we get to get back 2 creatures from our graveyard. We can get back the Deputy in the Bird, or the Bird and the Noble, or the Noble and the Deputy. Yep. It's going to feel really bad if they have a removal spell. I have to play around like they have a removal spell because they discarded the Bedevil. I don't think I actually know that Hoogland quote, which is surprising. Yep. As expected. Well, I mean, their Lily's back to 1. And we have a board. So we're not 100% out of that. That means they want the other card in their hand. Because otherwise, I think they would have plussed first. Well, I guess not, actually. I'm going to get... I think it's more important to have a better chord. Okay. That's a pretty good draw. Nice 3-mana Fatal Push, idiot. Okay. Lily's gonna die here. That is what this means. We are shut out of white mana, though. Oh, that's a top deck. Really glad I put P and K Mom and Pop Thopter Shop in this deck. So you're saying there's a chance. You are saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Alright. Alright. I do enjoy the top deck battle, opponent. Yoink. Hashtag turns dude sideways 2019. All right. I wonder what their other card is. Shall we see what the salt is? You're welcome, LOL. LOL, man. Oh no, my mom and pop and my thopter. How rude. Beep beep, hop in my crappy creature beep beats Jeep. Gotta get rid of that Magus, opponent. Go ahead. Thanks for the Blood Moon, opponent. No! Daddy, no! Why you do this? That should kill them. I don't exactly know what we're recording for, but I know we're recording. We're gonna record for a bunch just in case. I actually don't 100% know what to get here. I think it's something to blow up the bridge, but I don't want to mess up. Get this here Night of Autumn and win the game. We did it, boys. We prized. Woo! We got our fun money back. Let's get it. All right. That was the game, dude. So, closing thoughts on the deck. I think this deck's sweet. I have to think if I'm going to play this over Phoenix this weekend, though. Because I think Phoenix is a really good deck. But I think this is a really good deck, and I have a lot of fun playing it. And I think I might also have some surprise factor with it. Changes I would make? I'm not really sure. I could maybe see playing the Windsweeps over the Woodeds But then you'd have to get rid of the steam vents. And because of like P and K in the sideboard and Kiki Jiki, I've really liked the steam vents. Typically, like, my fetch order goes like Breeding Pool, Temple Garden, steam vents, and then I just have perfect mana. Well, kind of. I mean, I can't cast the Goblin, but he's Kiki Jiki. Other than that, though, the sideboard felt great. The rips were really good. The Revlark was insane. I'm really glad I decided to put this in the sideboard. If I decided not to play a second Kiki, I would for sure play a Revlark in the main. And then probably play the Huntmaster of the Fells. Because I actually think that might be good. And I think our artifact matchup is probably fine. So I think that's about it. Before I log off, though, I'd like to remind everyone to check out Mom's Basement Games TCG Pro. It's your one-stop shop if you want anything that maybe was even in my deck. I'm sure we have most of Vanafar Pod in our inventory, as well as any of our top sellers from basics to Terramanders. You can also check out our Twitch if you're watching on YouTube, which if you go down to the description, we'll actually have all of our links down there. As well as like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. If you're not from YouTube and you're watching on Twitch, which is being streamed right now, make sure to check out our YouTube for our Legacy, Modern, and Standard content. As well as feel free to give me a follow. I'm always willing to talk Magic or anything else that you would like. Check me out on Twitter. That's @RichardTMTG. As for that, though, I'm going to be signing off for the night. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if any of you guys are going to be in Philly this weekend, make sure to stop by and say hi. I will be there.